6 o'clock, calling meeting to order. Brian, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have several sets of minutes to approve. First being the June 24th regular meeting minutes. And I was not there, and neither was our new selectman, so that's going to have to be tabled. Correct. All right. And we cannot approve the June 24th work session minutes as well because of attendance problems. And July 8th. So, excellent. So we have July 8th work session meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
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 Unfortunately, you can't say aye at this point.
Oh,
but,
okay, won't say anything then.
And all those opposed, say nay, and for anyone not present, please abstain. I think, Jenny, you're abstaining?
Abstaining.
Very good. Well, the ayes have it. Well, any discussion? The ayes have it. Okay. So, next one is July 15th. Work session meeting minutes.
Make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
Is there a second?
You're gonna have
Can
to
I
second.
second? I second.
No, Crapola. No, that's tabled as well.
No, why?
Because
You were.
you were absent and Jenny was not appointed.
Wait a minute,
Oh, shoot,
Wait a minute.
excuse me.
wait a minute.
Okay.
No, we're doing it.
Well,
At that point, Jenny Tebow was
I was
sworn
already
in.
sworn in, yes.
We're kind of like putting the cart before the horse, but
So I
So-
second?
yes, you may second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 abstain.
Ayes have it, no discussion. We're out of here. No. Okey-doke. I think we're falling into a... so here we go with the July 15th non-public meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Well,
I second.
We're cool. Oh, no, we're not.
I was not here and it says I was.
So therefore, this one's tabled as well. At this point, well, the weird thing is,
Oh, yeah.
Jenny was here.
I was there,
She was here.
but
Oh,
not you.
I was not.
That's okay.
So we had three.
Yep. We just, with those corrections, we're looking at a correction of putting Jenny Tebow in members present.
So
And members absent would be Brian Duto.
So I amend my motion to accept the minutes with that change of Jenny being added and Brian being removed out of the minutes.
Okay. Yeah, you had a second.
I seconded. I second that amendment.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Abstain.
Okay. Announcements. The following minutes have been sealed for the June 24th non-public minutes, the July 8th non-public minutes, and the July 15th non-public minutes. Further announcements. The Select Board will meet on the following dates. We'll have a regular meeting at 6 p.m. on Monday, August 12th, also August 26th. Work sessions prior to the regular meetings will start at 5 p.m. A public hearing to accept unanticipated funds in the amount of $16,500 from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Community Facilities, USDA, grant for the Highway Department vehicle upgrades will take place on Monday, August 12th at 6:15 in the Town Hall. All of the above meetings will be held in the Town Hall unless otherwise posted, and citizens wishing to be listed on the Select Board's agenda should notify the Town Hall prior to noon on Friday before the scheduled meeting. And alternate members are always needed to fill the positions of zoning and planning boards. Actually, we have a full member on the planning board that's still outstanding. And we also have at least a couple of full memberships on the Conservation Commission as well. So if you're interested, please submit a letter of intent to the Plymouth Selectboard office at 6 Post Office Square in Plymouth. Now I have several comments. The first of which I'd like to welcome our newest Select Board member, Jenny Tebow, to the board. Jenny is filling in for an opening on the board, and she's had quite a bit of experience with the town as far as trustee of the trust fund and cemetery trustee, and she's fulfilling a vacancy that was created. So thank you very much, Jenny. Do you have any words to share?
No, I do not.
The other thing I'd like to announce is the retirement of Town Clerk Karen Freitas. And Karen will be stepping down from her position as Town Clerk on October 1st. And that will create another vacancy that will be filled on an interim basis by Josie, who's the current deputy town clerk. And then there will be an election next spring. So I wish Karen bon voyage and best of luck in her retirement. What else do I have? It's a very nice piece of paper that I should have read for you. Maybe I should read the Karen Freitas one. Kathy did a really good job in putting together two announcements that I should have read, but anyway, at the July 15th Select Board work session, Town Clerk Karen Freitas met with the board to announce her retirement as Town Clerk, effective October 1st. Karen was originally hired as a finance assistant in October of 1999. She moved up to the position of finance director in 2001, where she served the town for 6 more years. In 2007, Karen ran for and was elected to the position of town clerk. And Karen has been a great asset to the town. Her personality and her work ethic have made it a pleasure for the people of Plymouth to come to register their vehicles, obtain marriage or birth certificates, and to conduct other businesses that may bring them to the town clerk's office. And she will indeed be missed. In accordance with RSA's 4118 and 669-65, on the town clerk's resignation, the deputy town clerk will assume the role of town clerk until the March elections in 2020. Thank you, Karen. And what else? Actually, I'm going to do that, mention of the Northern Pass as well. And it probably is not needed to mention, but Northern Pass was put down by the New Hampshire Supreme Court in their reconsideration of the SEC's decision to stop the project for Northern Pass. And I'd like to, unfortunately, where's my glasses? I forgot. Read a thing from Dick Hage, who's sent it out to a number of different people. Just a general response to the Supreme Court's decision. And Dick is the former vice president of PSU and very active in the battle against Northern Pass. And Dick said in this email, "Dear friends, You no doubt are aware of the New Hampshire Supreme Court's ruling on Northern Pass. In the event you haven't seen it, below is our Music to Our Ears article. There was an article in the Union Leader on Saturday. But I write mainly to say thank you all for lending your voices. Your engagement for more than 8 years, your reasoned and respectful testimony, your letters and phone calls, your attendance at hearings, your signs, your caring for human rights, and protection of our beautiful state, your vigilance, your faith in what has shined through as a democratic process, and more, has made a wonderful difference. Thank you, thank you. And he gave the link to the Union Leader article, which appeared in the Saturday newspaper. If you haven't checked it out, you probably should. And Dick also wanted to thank the Select Board, for the work that we did in bringing forward the town in group meetings to present their thoughts on how to proceed in putting down this project, and also to pass a rights-based ordinance to basically make it unlawful for a company such as Northern Pass to go through our town, and in so doing destroy several businesses in our downtown. And also thanks to Brian Murphy for his testimony to the SEC. And Brian happens to be sitting in the audience right now. And he provided testimony that was very compelling to the SEC about safety and, generally safety concerns with the fact that they'd be shutting down Main Street for up to 6 months. So, in any event, thank you very much. Okay. I'd like to announce that we appointed Ted Wisniewski, or reappointed Ted Wisniewski as part of a 3-year term that he fulfilled on the Advisory Budget Committee. And we're in the process of selecting other members as well, ultimately to pick 4 members that will serve, to create a budget that will be going forward at town meeting. I'd also like to announce that we've appointed Ted Garrity to the trustee of the trust funds. And I believe that's to fill the vacancy that Jenny Tebow is making when she joined our board.
I think you need a motion,
Oh, we do?
a motion to appoint Ted to the, yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's do them one at a time then. Is there a motion to appoint Ted Wisniewski, reappoint Ted Wisniewski to the Advisory Budget Committee?
Make a motion, we reappoint Ted Wisniewski to the Advisory Budget Committee.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. Any discussion? Ayes have it. We do not have an original of the Ted Wisniewski. Do we need one? Or, okay. Okay, is there a motion to appoint Ted Garrity to as a member of the trustees of the trust fund?
Make a motion to appoint Ted Garrity to trustee of the trust fund.
Is there a second?
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Crap, didn't do any discussion. Oh, well.
It's black, right?
Does this go to you, Rebecca?
And now I'd like to bring forward Michael Moser, excuse me, the New Hampshire Department of Transportation, to discuss bridge preservation activities associated with BR 142/145, US 3 over New Hampshire Route 25. Michael. And, there's a mic at the dais, yep.
Do my best not to knock anything over, so. All right, before I begin, I'd like to thank the Select Board and the Chairman for granting us the time to come here and speak with you about this. So we're here tonight to talk about the Plymouth Campton project. This is a joint project between the towns of Plymouth and Campton, state routes that are going to be affected. The bridge that is in Plymouth, as you indicated, is Bridge 142, 145, which is US Route 3 over New Hampshire 25. Just to orient you, I know it's a little tough with the picture right here, but it's at exit 26, and this, the bridge that we're looking at here is just to the west of that interchange. So that'll be the one that we're working on here. So what we're looking to do here, the need for this project, you know, all the bridges that we have in the state require some type of preservation. We need to work to delay some of the replacement and some of those major problems that we have with this project. So we're looking to do some minor work on the expansion joint on this bridge, and then also some approach pavement work in order to delay any long-term problems, to kick those down the road a little bit longer. So that's kind of the intent of this project. So the existing bridge that's out there now is a single-span steel I-beam girder bridge with a concrete deck. It was originally constructed in 1965, and there was some preservation work that was done in 1993. So it's been, 26 years, 27 years since we've done any real work on this project, or excuse me, on this bridge. Currently, the bridge, it does rate well. We go out there at a minimum, at a maximum every 2 years to inspect it. So the last inspection was done in 2019. It did rate the bridge in good condition. So as I said, what we're trying to do is do that preservation work, to do some minor work now to save the major work down the road. The 93 work that was done on this project did a lot of work on the bridge deck itself. So, we used to be a paved bridge. It's now a bare deck bridge. So, we don't have to touch a lot of the deck. Like I said, our work is really focused on that expansion joint. So, the biggest issue that we wanted to talk to you guys about today is the traffic control for this bridge. So I'm going to step away for just a second. In order to fix this bridge, what we propose to do is do it in 2 phases. So we would be taking the bridge and condensing it down to 1 lane, alternating traffic in each direction. So you can see in the top picture there, we're going to be working on part of the bridge, install some concrete traffic barrier, push all the traffic to one side. I also have a section view here that kind of shows the same thing. So if you're driving along, we'd be having a work zone that would be on the west side of the bridge, and we'd be traveling on the east side of the bridge, which is what the 2 arrows indicate. And then, once we get done fixing the expansion joint in that area, we would then switch it. We would move all the traffic over here to the west side, and then we would be working on the east side of the bridge. I realize that there is an interchange here at this point as well, so you have traffic that's coming from New Hampshire 25 to get either on or off of US 3. We don't anticipate there being a major issue with that. There might be some backup when we condense the lanes down when we condense the lane from 1. So you can see that we have that taper for the barrier. So we may have a bit of a backup coming off there, but we expect that to be fairly minor. So right now, the add date for this project is actually September 10th of this year. We expect construction to occur sometime in this spring and summer of next year, so 2020. So that's basically a quick summation of what we're looking at. If you have any questions, I'm free to answer them now.
So is that 1 lane going to be up throughout winter for?
No, it's only going to be for the summer. We're anticipating it's probably going to be between 4 and 6 months.
So you're going to start in September?
Nope. We would start sometime next spring, probably in the April timeframe.
Okay,
So we're going to send it out to add in September. We'll get a contractor on board, and then we have to go through a governor and council to get approval. So that's probably not going to happen, I'm guessing probably November timeframe. They'll spend the winter going through, doing a lot of the prep work that they need to do, getting their drawings approved that we need to look at, and then probably, I'm guessing, in the April to May timeframe, they'll be out to start setting up that traffic control scheme that you see there.
Okay.
You said expansion joint. Where's the expansion joint in that length of the bridge, or is it?
So it's at the northern end of the bridge. Do you mind if I flip this around again?
Sure.
So the expansion joint is this area right in here.
Yep.
So we've got to replace that right now. It is leaking. Sorry. The joint will be replaced. It is leaking right now, so we're having water that's falling through onto the abutments and then, creating rust and some issues with deterioration of the bearings as well.
Okay. Any other questions? Great.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Came with a team. Thanks. See ya. And next we have Neil McIver, and there was some correspondence that was received from Brian Murphy, or to Brian Murphy, or from.
Now comes Neil McIver,
He is here.
lifelong resident and citizen of Plymouth, dedicated to the best interests of the community. I requested copies of all correspondence related to the illegal transfer of real estate by Raymond and Edith Barlow to Robert Moitoza, and I received a copy of the notice that Brian Murphy sent to the Barlows, and I received a letter from the attorney describing the 85 Loon Lake Road, which was another issue that I was concerned about. And I also received a letter from Brian, which was one sentence, and I found it to be vague, and I need more specifics on your proposal.
This is describing the quitclaim?
Well, what you're planning to do. This is my land. And I also feel that 6 months, which is what he said in the letter, is totally unacceptable. It's just unacceptable to me.
Wasn't there, well, actually, Brian, can you tell us the status of, it was 6 months to register, or at least,
To resolve the issue,
like make a quick claim.
it's a very long time.
Okay, Brian?
Yes, and the 6 months, as I had explained the last time, was due to having to research how to go about it, not knowing how long that would take. So to not put a burden on anybody, figured 6 months. However, last week, and the date I think was okay. Sorry, I'm not very organized here. As of the 16th of July, the matter is resolved. A counter-quit claim was filed by Robert Moitoza, expressing exactly the same thing that was in the original claim, quit claim, with a statement at the bottom saying, this deed intends to nullify a previous quitclaim deed recorded at Grafton County Registry, book number 3642, page 0802. This deed was recorded at the registry in book 4451, page 185. So our interest in the matter is resolved.
Does that mean that Barlows have a deed to my property?
No. It means that put it in mathematical terms. You have +1, you have -1, you add them together, you have 0. What they deeded to Moit, he deeded back to them.
Which the court said was nothing.
Right.
Okay. Well, I just want it clarified so that I can move forward.
Okay. Well, thank you, Neil. And I think
Thank
this
you very much.
seems resolved.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome, Neil.
Next, we have Jane Hinkle regarding paving of town roads. Looks like Jane might be occupied, but
Jane's just getting
We're
ready.
gonna solve that problem.
She's sleeping in the meeting, that's all I.
how could we sleep in this chilly room? But
Hello, thank you for letting me come up and share my concerns with you. So this is our 13th year here. Who knew? It's flying by. But quite honestly, I'm a little bit concerned about the roads, especially Pleasant Street, which is the street we live on. And I did hear from the, I guess it's a road agent today, who said that as of now, they have no plans to repave it because they have to put the sewers in. So, first of all, when was the last time that the road was done? Does anybody know?
actually, Joe is here, the highway supervisor.
So I'm the road agent, so we've overlaid that, but it was just a Band-Aid, and we're at a point where the only way to fix it right is to fix the infrastructure.
And here's my dilemma as a business owner. You know, I own the Tea Rose Inn. I have a salon there. We have a lot of people that, I mean, this little town has become a tourist destination. Excuse me, but people also come for the town's ambiance, the Flying Monkey, the restaurants, and of course to stay at our inn. We keep hearing a lot of guests that are commenting on the unsafeness of the sidewalks and the roads, and I understand we have, like, is it 10,000 appropriated for sidewalks?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, I know we've had, my taxes went up over $3,000 last year. They're supposed to go up again next year. Our water and sewer's going up over 50%. I feel like as a homeowner and business owner, I don't have a lot to show for my taxes going up. And it just concerns me. It's a safety issue. Of course, the potholes, everybody's complaining about their cars, having to take them in for front-end alignments in the wintertime. And again, the guys are out there doing an awesome job, plowing when they should be and filling the holes as fast as they can. But I just wondered if you all knew when the sewers are going to be replaced, and if there's any kind of renegotiation possible with the college on a budget for sidewalks?
That's interesting, that a proposal. We work with the university. I know you attend like the CCC meetings as well.
Yes,
I don't know if you had a chance to bring that up at those meetings.
I could at the next CCC meeting. But I just wondered if anybody has any idea when, I mean, do we have any funds for capital improvement accounts or for the infrastructure and stuff like that? Please forgive me, I'm not real experienced with all this, so.
You're doing fine.
Yeah. So, we're kind of constrained by not, basically holding our budget, without increase. And revenue has gone down, and, we're trying to encourage projects along like Teddy Mountain Highway in order to bring back some revenue to our town, as well as go after the legislators to bring shared revenue back to our town as well. So there's like a lot of like moving parts, water and sewer, with their projects. So even if we were to pursue, like additional like money from the university, there's a lot in line to, utilize that money, and we're pursuing like a life safety agreement, with the university, and primarily to offset the cost of emergency services and police protection. And so, I think we're focused on roads and sidewalks, but I guess trying to pursue that revenue maybe from the university is not really likely. I think we should, maybe like pursue maybe grants or something more likely to get money from.
Would that be something that you all would do, try to get grants?
Yeah.
I mean, I love Plymouth. I fell in love with the minute I got off exit 25. I looked at Frank and I said, honey, I'm home. I've never looked back. I don't miss Florida. I don't miss anything about it. And I'm just, only because I think it's like kind of a safety concern with the kids too. It's like kids can't really ride their bikes on the sidewalks. They fall, and it's just become, and I just wondered if there was any avenue or anything that I could find out from you when it's going to be done, or how we would, whose cage do we rattle?
Yeah. Any suggestions?
Well, I can tell you first off that Plymouth Water and Sewer is not part of the town. We're separate, and we are trying to work together with them. But we had $500,000 put away for roads, and $1 million in road grants was supposed to come from the state to do Highland Street, and the state took that money away from us, so we had to use that $500,000 to do Highland Street. So right now, we're on a rotation with the state to try to get more funds, but it won't even happen until probably 2025.
Oy.
We would need an additional $6 million to do all the roads that need to be done in town, and our budget, we just don't have that money, and our budget does not sustain that right now. And phase 1 of Russell Street would be, I think, the next priority, because it ties in with Main Street and what Water and Sewer is going to do, and it will take care of some of the problems down there. So, do you know what roads in town need to be done? Do you have a?
Well, Russell Street failed, and so is Pleasant. But in order to do Pleasant Street right, I have to do Russell Street first to get there.
Right.
So you're on an agenda, it's just there, taking me money to get there.
Well, that's not very reassuring, but
So-
it is what it is.
The base of our budget hasn't changed in 10 to 12 years. We've been working with the same budget, trying to get things done, and it's not working. So our biggest hope is to have Tenny Mountain take off, so that will relieve the taxpayers of, bring in some revenue and relieve the taxpayers, and then we can maybe get more done. We are.
It's growing so much. We've got so many new restaurants, and it's. I think it's pretty amazing. I'm just not. I'm. Thank you for explaining it away, because I'm not sure how all this works, and I just wondered, is there anything that the citizens can do from their standpoint? Like rattle the governor's cage or something.
Yeah.
Because 2025 is a long way off to get that
It
street
is.
fixed.
It is.
And I know the sewer systems are failing, and that it's just a train wreck right now. And to avoid it from getting worse, that's what I'm wondering, what could possibly be done, because it's going to get worse. And then it's going to get so out of hand, it's going to cost more than the allotted $300,000, which was suggested to maybe fix Pleasant Street. So, food for thought, that's all. I know you don't have a solid answer for me. I just, you did answer my questions, and I thank you very much. But I think just we need to have a little bit more, something appropriated for the roads, for the neighborhood roads. So,
Maybe letting the state reps know how important this is to the town.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, you had something to say, or hey, Jane?
Well, I was just going to mention to Jane, the new restaurants are great, and it's bringing a lot of business into town, but they're taking over existing buildings that were already paying the taxes, whether there was a business there or not. So it didn't mean that we necessarily got extra income from taxes from that.
Pretty awesome. This town has a lot to offer. You know, everybody that comes is pleasantly surprised. It looks like a sleepy little town, but, you know, the new Italian restaurant downtown has great food, fat fish. It's all pretty good. You know, we have a lot of return guests that are in because of the town.
Yeah.
So,
Nice to hear.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any committee reports?
Nothing to report. I have none.
I'm not on the committee.
I got a committee for you.
Yeah, we'll have to fix that.
Unfortunately, I lost some notes. We had a planning board committee meeting, and one kind of exciting thing is that we're actually going to be like looking at some properties and, you know, the nature of, you know, the creep or whatever out on Tenny Mountain Highway, and we're going to be going out there August, when? 1st. Oh, crap. Okay. And basically, we're just gonna like go out, you know, as a group and take a look at different situations along Tenny Mountain Highway to see how best to go forward, and how, you know, what kind of a plan we should, you know, go forward with as far as acceptable use and maximizing different, I guess, you know, factions as far as, you know, planning. To take a look at what types of buildings, what types of development, and anyway, that's going to go on August 1st, and at least I know 2 people out in the audience that will be going on that trip as well. But go ahead.
I was going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is there anything new with the Eric Bouchard property? Where they bought the lot from Harris Family Furniture?
Oh, no, not that I know of.
Informally, I can answer that question, Mike. Because of the changes in university residences, they've opted to sit on the property at this point in time instead of building. So it remained essentially vacant. I think he's using it for overflow parking or for other people down there. I encouraged him to put it out to the business community for parking. But at this point, it's remaining vacant since they took it down.
Okay. Thanks, Brian.
And is there any public comment? Seeing none, is there a motion? Oh, we don't need to go into non-public, or do we?
We have one thing to discuss.
Would it be a personnel issue, or?
It's actually got to do with negotiations, union.
Okay.
So is that hiring?
I always thought negotiations were non-public.
All right, so in that case, is there a motion to go into public, non-public session in accordance with RSA 91A:3, Roman numeral 2, A through E?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 We're not-